Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Tattoo Homewreckers, a podcast where we talk about tattoos, life, and everything in between. And we are both professionals and don't do 3 podcasts dressed up as Halloween characters.
That intro sounded so professional.
Thank you. As we're both once again dressed up. It's Halloween right now.
You guys are actually Halloween right now.
For us. Our viewers right now, you're listening to this in November.
Yep, a week behind.
Mm-hmm. But it is Halloween for us, and so that's why we're still in costume. So you're welcome.
Yeah. Also, I'm trying to convince her to just randomly we do this.
Randomly, yeah. We just, I've enlightened, my love for makeup artistry and FX makeup and
specifics. Let's talk about that for a second, because we've been talking about unicorn time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So will you tell our viewers what unicorn time is?
So I feel terrible, I can't remember the Eve Brodsky, I think it is. Mm-hmm. Wrote a book, and it is called Fair Play, and in it she talks about the distribution of housework and emotional labor and everything. And one of the last parts is claiming your, and I don't necessarily love the name of it because I think it sounds really cheesy, but it's also effective because it's really memorable. Mm-hmm. But your unicorn time, so it's something that you do strictly for yourself, for the betterment, and self-care can't be it, and
right,
going to the gym can't be it.
Yeah, you said something interesting. A, fitness cannot be considered unicorn time, and B, for me, I was video games, and you're no, that's also not unicorn time.
Yeah, so it's about creating and fueling that side of yourself,
creative energy and wanting to get better and stuff. And I had a moment today when I was doing my makeup that oh my gosh, makeup is my unicorn time. I love doing makeup. It's just so fun, especially FX makeup, where I can I love balancing between glam and grotesque.
Yeah, that is a perfect description for your face right now.
Glam and grotesque, which is what I'm doing right now. I have a bunch of fake nails glued to my face to represent teeth, and they worked out pretty well. But so this episode isn't going to be about unicorn time. It is going to be about social media, though. So social media, why it matters, why it doesn't matter, and how you can tailor it so that way it works for you. Considering it's such a big part of our lives, I always grew up with social media. Gaia did not.
I did not.
Yeah. And
I was around before the internet.
Ooh. What's it like to learn with no electricity?
With no electricity?
Riding the caravan to school every day.
I walked to school.
Oh, yeah, my school was too far.
Yeah.
To do that, but I knew a lot of kids that walked to school. But anyways, we're going to talk about social media, and it does pertain to tattooing, surprisingly or not. But if you're not a tattooer or you're not interested in the tattoo industry, it still pertains to you. Obviously, you're watching this podcast, and we are a part of social media.
We are.
I would like to say that, yeah. It affects our everyday life, and I just wanted to talk about how to tailor social media so that way it works for you and doesn't affect your mental health negatively. Because a lot of social media, I feel like it's just a minefield at this point.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you actually introduced this, I guess, concept to me, was that, if anything pops up that, I don't like or doesn't make me feel good, I just remove it from my social media. You unfollow. Quick.
Yeah.
Quick to unfollow.
Really quick to unfollow. Mm-hmm. And then I'll, go back and, check later if I think about it. And I'm oh, I wonder, what that, I'll unfollow people, just normal people, and I'm nope, whatever you're doing is triggering to me. So
I think that's great, because I grew up with such a stigma that if you unfollow someone, that means you fucking hate them, and I don't think that's it. I don't think that is at all what it is. It has nothing to do with I've unfollowed plenty of people. I don't fucking hate you. I just found it better that you are going to live your best life without me in general. So I might as well, and I'm gonna live my best life if I'm not reminded of what you're doing.
Yeah.
In the best, way. I'm not, not rooting for you. I would rather be a part of that. You know what I mean? And so I grew up with this huge stigma of, oh, if you unfollow someone or if you block someone, it's, a big fucking deal.
Yeah, I get blocked a lot, so I don't really care. Mm-hmm. You know this. I'll be oh, how's this person doing? And I'm oh, their page doesn't exist. And I'm well, another person blocked me.
I kind of love that, though, because, honestly, I also, this might be different for our listeners. Let me know what you think. But I also grew up with the whole, if you get blocked first, you won.
Won what? I don't even know what I'm winning over here.
I don't think that necessarily, like, I don't know if that's true either, but, like, it's the idea that, like, you took up so much rent-free real estate in their brains that they had to, like, go the extra mile. And it's not really an extra mile. It takes 0.2 seconds to block somebody, but go the extra mile in quotation marks to remove you from, like, their brain. And
oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you feel about that either.
I don't know. I kind of see, like, it sounds really, like, stupid and, like, hippie and, like, also weirdly, like, stoic, where it's like social media isn't real.
Oh no.
Mm-mm. But that's, like, where my brain is. So if someone blocks me on social media, I'm like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because, like, if we were friends, I'd have your actual phone number. Mm-hmm. And if, like, that's what you need to, like, get over whatever it was we share, then, like, that's what you need.
That's a beautiful way to put that.
If the sight of my face bothers you, for God's sake, don't follow me. Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, if that's what you need in order to get over whatever it is that we went through, like, then you do you. More power to you. And that's kind of where I'm trying to be at, where it's, like, more power to you kind of thing. Because, like, I hardly ever block people. But I will unfollow people now, considering, like, here's my thing. I spend a lot of time on social media, not just because of my job, but because, like, that's just what I grew up with. And, like, when I go on the toilet, you know, the first thing I do is go on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. Just
Thank you. Thank you. I hate that everyone acts like they're not only doing or spending a majority of time on the toilet.
It's this generation, and by this generation, I mean, like, everybody who's a part of this time frame right now. It's our version of flipping through magazines.
Yeah.
It's our version of going through the newspaper. But mind you, it is a little bit dangerous because, like, what's on social media, again, is tailored to what you like. There are algorithms for a reason. So if you're only seeing negativity, if you're only seeing things that, like, make you feel shitty, maybe readjust who you're following. Maybe go through your follower list. Be a lot more, like, I don't know, vigilant about who you're consuming. Because that's all it is. It's just consuming content.
Yeah, and I think, like, I obviously don't spend, like, I mean, I spend time on social media. I'm not saying that like I'm, like, above this shit or anything, because I also love it. I just get very overstimulated on my phone.
Yeah.
And you know this, so, like, my phone will just live in a corner because I'll be like, I can't touch it. Like, I fucking...
There will be, like, several week stints where you're like, no, I can't do this.
Yeah, so, like, I can't make content. I have the hardest time posting. And, like, the whole thing just becomes super overstimulating and just, like, overwhelming. So I'm on social media just less time because of that. And so I'm really, like, I know the people that I follow really well. So then the moment someone's, like, bought my, like, follow and their shit shows up in my, like, stuff and it's not, like, a sponsored thing, I'm like, fuck you, I will go through the extra steps to unfollow you.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I don't want your content. And it doesn't have to be anything, like, controversial. It could just be, like, simply, who is this, like, woman's face here? I don't know this person. I go and I'm like, oh, look.
It's by principle.
I didn't follow you yesterday, so you don't get my follow. Because I see it as, like, all of those, like, follows back and forth, the Facebook friends, like, all that shit. It's all about, like, having that connectivity to another person. So if it's like, hey, I don't want to be connected to you, why the fuck are we forcing it there? Like, even though maybe people don't care, like, who's on their friends list, like, I do. I'm really particular about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that means that I have this direct line of contact with this person. So, like, if I don't want that every single day, then for me, it's worth just being like, nah, fuck it. Like, you can follow me, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
Same as I follow lots of people that don't follow me, like, just because I love them.
I'm a big, I don't know, I'm really against, like, buying followers. Just because, again, it promotes this, like, fake, I don't know, it's... especially in our job, which I'll touch more on. But I do want to, before we get into, like, what it has to pertain to our job, I do want to talk about, like, your approach to social media, because it is a different approach than, like, what I grew up as. And I just want our wrecking balls to hear it, because you told me that your approach to social media is, it's just your scrapbook. It's for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's
and it's such a weird concept, like, compared to, like, what I grew up as thinking what social media was.
Yeah, I
think just for other people.
That's the thing, though. Like, a lot of people my age still think of it as being for other people. I think for me, it's because I went from writing in journals my whole life. I turned 18 and I started doing digital journals. So I had like private blogs and shit. It was like deaddiary.com or something. And then social media happened, and it was too much to write in my like journals and then also write the same thing in a post.
Yeah.
So I kind of just saw like your communication with the world, because like you could make like your live journal or dead journal, whatever the fuck it was. You could make it public. So like a lot of my posts would be public because I just saw it as like whatever, like it's out in the universe. It's no different than when you write it in a book. You know, when I'd write it in diary as a kid, my mom would read it anyway, so it was never fully private. And I just saw that as like a transition where it was like, oh, so instead of writing here, now I have these like pictures I can add. And it just grew from that. And like, honestly, I'd rather somebody see my diary and then be like, hey, I want to like be, you know, in this person's life. I want this person's like content, whatever. I want them to know the real me and not some like cultivated version of myself. Because then, okay, so what if they're a client?
Yeah.
Like, how disappointing is that? Yeah, right. You meet me, and so many of the people that I meet me through social media. And I just always thought if you just show up authentically, then at least then the people getting into your chair, the people getting into your everyday life will also be authentic, because they will like you for you, instead of us both being like, oh my gosh, I love this. And the other person's like, I hate that shit, but I gotta tell her I love it. Oh my God, me too. Yeah.
Because like, I told the internet I liked it. Like, I have to pertain to that persona that I created. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know. I love that because it's not just like a generational thing. You're right. It is very much a like you thing. Because a lot of people, again, aren't like authentic on the internet, because it does require a lot of vulnerability.
I think that's where like that part of vulnerability I didn't struggle with. The like just putting all your shit out there has always been like, that's, for me, it's not vulnerable because it doesn't feel risky or scary, or
it's
like
just part of you.
It's it's the just like, hey, I'm, you know, like we said the other day, when I say the word stupid, it sounds so offensive because I just say it like that second exactly how I mean it, which is like abrupt. And like, I am that, so I don't want to cultivate something else for other people.
Well, if you think about it,
assault them with my like bluntness.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you think about it, it does make total sense. Like, it shouldn't feel risky. It shouldn't feel vulnerable, because either way, like at the end of the day, people are going to know who you are when they first meet you. They are going to like get that energy. And I'm a big fan of, like, we've been talking about this too, the 2-month rule of getting to know somebody. Very big fan of. I've recently realized like people will put up a really good front for approximately 2 months. Yeah. Approximately 2 months, people are pretty good, but the second those 2 months are up, they will show you will start to see cracks in whatever mask they're showing you. Yeah. You know, they like, it's just a natural thing. People get comfortable and then all of a sudden their true character comes out, and you're lucky. You are so lucky if like that first 2 months, like, I wouldn't say trial period, but trial period of getting to know someone is still similar to the person you know after 2 months. Because 2 months is a long time to hold up a charade. Yeah. You know? But on social media, that there's no 2-month period. You're able to just post a persona that isn't you freely. And people, it's so scary because people don't realize that they're doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. The people don't realize that they have different personalities. And like, that's something that I've really had to come to terms with, is the fact that I have different personalities on every single site. My Facebook persona and my Twitter persona are 2 very different fucking people. Completely different people. Same with my Instagram persona. Like, very completely different people. And it's hard because, I don't know, I don't want to blame it on like, this is how I grew up with that relationship with social media, but it's hard to deprogram that out of me. Of like, okay, I'm just trying to be more vulnerable. I'm trying to post more things. I'm trying to remind myself that this is for me. And it's hard because, like, I mean, today I chickened out of posting a reel, and I just posted it to my story because I was like, oh my God, like, I don't want to be perceived, even though I'm really proud of this reel and I'm proud of the makeup that I did, it's so strange.
We're perceived as what?
I don't know. Just perceived in general. Like, just perceived as like, this is stupid. Why is she posting this? We're here for tattoos.
Why do you care? Fuck
I shouldn't care. Exactly. That's the problem. Is like, I shouldn't care because it's my fucking page.
See, and I have the exact opposite because I thought for sure when I was like, I'm going to do an OnlyFans and it's going to be this one facet of me, which is that like trying to connect with my like sexuality and my body.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it's that 2-month mark, actually, like right around the 2-month mark is when it went from like, okay, here's all these like cute, sexy pictures to me literally just like face against the shower blowing raspberries on like the shower wall of the glass. Because Caboose sent it and I was like, dude, that shit's so funny. So it went from like, I'm trying to have this like persona to just being like, no, you just, unfortunately, you the whole package all the time. You don't get to edit anything out. It's just full fucking what the fuck.
Yeah.
Because I've had so much fun. You've seen them posting pictures that are like, what the fuck am I looking at? This is terrifying.
Yeah.
And I think that's it, is like, there's a little bit of me that still gets scared of like, what if someone's like upset because they're paying for it? And then I have to be like, fuck it.
That's true. You can leave my page at any point at any time. So why do I care? Why do I care, really, truly?
Well, I think that's my thing is I'm like, nah, this shit's for me, which means like...
It can be whatever I want it to be.
Yeah, it's just pure chaos.
I do need to start approaching it with the same thing as like the podcast because everything that we say is like for the like unrehearsed. Unrehearsed. So like whenever we're recording for you guys, I hope you know that it's just like it's very rare that it's 2 takes, and that's mostly if it's a second take is because we fucked up the first time.
Yeah,
like
we did.
We lost the audio, like it's completely gone or whatever the fuck.
We lost a whole file.
Yeah, exactly.
Time. Yeah,
exactly. So like I hope you all know that this is the most authentic version of ourselves because we're just literally just talking to you guys.
Yeah.
And like I need to approach it with the same mentality. All of my like sites, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever the fuck, I just need to approach it with the same mentality of fucking the podcast because it's one shot, one take. Like this is us, this is who we are, this is what we say, and if we stumble through it, we stumble through it, and that's fine.
But I think that's what I like about social media because I like back to where you're saying you can like tailor it to be like what you want. Like I find posts and people to follow that I see as like, I perceive it as them being authentic.
Yeah.
Like Jennifer Gardner, the fucking actress, she has a pretend cooking show and it's the most adorable thing
so
because
cute.
She's just having a good time.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in it that it's like, hey, this is cultivated. Like obviously she has someone like shooting it for her. But you can tell that it's just it's her unicorn time. It's her thing that she just loves to do.
That's my thing. It's like, I just love editing videos. So sometimes I'll just make a video because I just wanted to edit something. You know what I mean? Like I just...
And you can fucking do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's my thing. Like, nah, dude, this is me. So whether you meet me online or you meet me in real life, I may as well warn you ahead of time through my social media.
And by warn, I mean, I might as well just make that the same person, right? Like, we might as well merge it as much as we can.
Because how scary would that be if you were like, hey, Callista's this one thing, this like single facet on this, like, you know, personality trait on this site. And then they meet you and they're like, holy shit, you're a fully like formed person.
With so many intricacies and so many flaws,
like
and
that's
so many
scary. That's like it's like internet catfishing.
Yeah, you don't want to like sell yourself as just one singular like person, or you know, just sell yourself as one like pillar of your personality because I just need to keep reminding myself that like we're all just dust in the wind, so who fucking cares anyways? I'll post it. I don't care.
Do you think it's because you assume that like the like homewreckers just love you? Like that they're like on this journey with us.
I actually am I'm more comfortable with posting to the homewrecker page anything I want than I am on my own page. Oddly enough.
Weird.
Why? Are you the opposite?
Oh, no. Yeah, I don't ever post on the Homewrecker. I kind of see that as like a professional account.
Oh my God, I'm the opposite. I'm like, I'll just post whatever I want. If I feel like posting something, I'm just going to post it on the Homewrecker page.
To me, it's our like professional account.
Oh God.
And so you handle our social media. So I'm like, she's crushing it. Fuck, I don't... Because you know me, again, I would post for 3 days and then I drop off the face of the earth. Mm-hmm. And I'll post 17 things in those 3 days. Mm-hmm. And then the Homewreckers page would just remain a dust fucking particle in the wind. Like,
well, thank you for thinking.
Keep up with it.
Thanks for thinking that was, that's our professional page. But
you know you're better at Reels. Everyone knows you're better at Reels.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
This is like...
I love video editing. And that's... I mean, great segue.
I don't, so I fucking won't. So it's better that you handle it.
Great segue into our next point of this conversation, because I do want to talk about how it does relate to the tattooing industry. Because I don't think that you realized when you started tattooing that becoming a videographer and video editor was going to be a huge part of your job now.
You were only concerned with getting a good picture. Mm-hmm. And the great part too is that half your artists were still taking picture just on film. And then, and then the other half were like willing to do digital, but digital wasn't nearly as good as it is now.
Yeah.
So you still had to like fuck with it and fuss with it.
Yeah.
And then there'd be a massive fucking argument about adjusting the black because there's a huge fear of editing your photos. And you're like, dude, I'm just making, because the picture's washed out, so it looks gray, and I'm just making the gray look black.
Plus, skin has texture, so when you're like taking a photo of your tattoo, it never ever does it justice.
No.
When you look at it and you know it's saturated black and you take a photo of it and it doesn't look saturated, it's because there's so much fucking texture. The light is bouncing off of a million skin cells.
Yep.
So like,
yeah,
that's so fun. Yeah, that is still a huge debate on.
And now I have to fucking create reels and content and engagement and like, fuck, dude.
It's a lot.
Sucks.
It is a lot. No, yeah. I just
watched you do a transition the other day, and that was so much work. You just sing that song like 17,000 times.
Oh my God, it was so embarrassing.
I'm
like, hold on. I'm like, let me do that one more time. Yeah, it was so...
It's so much work. Mm-hmm. And like, don't get me wrong, I really appreciate it. But I see it like, I appreciate watching that content. Mm-hmm. But I see it the same as like watching a movie. Mm-hmm. I watch a movie and I'm like, fuck yeah, that's amazing. I don't need to do that.
I love that.
Like, I'm going to leave that up to the pros.
You know, it's so funny. That was another career option for me long time ago in high school, which isn't that long ago.
So, like yesterday?
I wanted to beat that joke before you got to it. Anyways, yeah, I wanted to be like a music video director. So I personally feel like the whole Instagram pushing reels. What?
Why the fuck are we not making music videos? I have sick moves.
Oh
I would
my
make
God,
hilarious, amazing, perfect music videos. I can lip sync. I can dance.
I don't need you to dance.
I can do fucking tricks.
You can.
And I'm learning new moves every day. Why are we not making music videos? Because if you want to make music videos, I am willing to sacrifice my time to make music videos.
You know,
you guys harass her. I want to make music videos.
Oh my God. Do not harass me. I just feel like I definitely lucked out with the whole reel thing. And I know so many people do not feel the same way. Because like, genuinely, it is a lot of work. It is so much work. And on top of tattooing, like, what?
Tell them how long it took you to do the Mark Studios reel.
Okay, y'all. I can tell you exactly how many seconds that reel is. It's 47 seconds. Took me around, I think, 4 hours.
It was 4 hours.
Took me 4 hours to edit a 47-second video for the studio because we were promoting the Veterans Day event.
No.
Which, if you don't know yet, we're doing free tattoos for veterans. But anyways, I'm not going to plug it here because I already listened to myself talk about it a million times. Editing that fucking video. Go look at the Mark Studios page if you want to see it. Yeah, took 4 hours. It's a great video.
It is. It's so good.
I'm very happy with it.
I'm glad because it's fucking awesome.
Thank you. I'm happy with it. And like all my reels are just truly just love letters to like high school Callista that wanted to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of work. I think I lucked out because I'm like, not a lot of people have previous experience in video editing. And I lucked out, dude. I was like, oh shit, that's the new thing. I can hop on this wave like crazy. I'm fine. But there's so many people in our industry that's like, fuck that, dude.
It's terrible.
It is a lot of
You
work.
added a full-time job
to a full-time job
of my more than full-time job.
Yeah, guess what? When I get to go home, I don't get to clock out. And it was like that before Reels existed. I don't get to clock out. I still have to draw. Now, instead of just going home and drawing, now I have to fucking go home, edit content so that way you guys can actually see the fucking tattoos I'm creating. And then on top of that, you know, spend 4 hours fucking editing a video. On top of that, spend another 4 hours drawing the fucking tattoos for me to collect more content on. It's a lot of work. And
when it takes so long, you're in the middle of a tattoo and you're like, oh, let me change my camera
angle. I gotta change the angle.
Oh, let me go from this way. Oh, okay, I can work for a minute. Oh, let me turn the camera off. All right, like, you go through so many gloves. It's such a pain in the ass.
You do go through a lot of gloves.
It fucking sucks. And it's like, here's your content.
Yeah, because we have to change gloves too, by the way. When we're moving our fucking camera around, we have to change
every
gloves.
Every time you take them off.
Yeah, you got to take them off because I'm not going to touch my nasty ass biohazardy fingers on my phone and my fucking lights and everything like that. It is quite the journey. And on that note, social media
sucks.
You can make it work for you. It does suck. If you're interested in the tattooing industry, like, get good at it. Please, for the love of God, get good at it.
Learn how to make fucking reels.
Learn how to post.
Because even if you don't like them, you still need to be good at making them.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's the classic, like, sink or swim. You know what I mean? Like, we're constantly in this new age of, like, promoting ourselves. And Instagram is such a huge platform to promote yourself as a tattoo artist. Yeah. And if you can't, get with the times, you're going to sink. So swim and learn and do what you can. But you can make social media work for you. I mean, as far as engagement goes, don't get me wrong, it's exhausting. But the moment that, like, you start to build an audience and start to build that engagement, like, and start to, like, really understand how the algorithm works, which, by the way, is still total bullshit. But there are a few tips that I can share. What?
Your mouth is freaking me out so bad.
You're still looking at my mouth?
Yes.
Yeah, for the most part, so long as you just, like, continuously interact with people, which is so exhausting as well, you'll do fine. But I don't know. I just really want to make sure that you guys know that, like, I want social media to be a good place for you. So that includes being your authentic self.
Yeah.
And then also shielding yourself from people who may be inauthentic and don't make you feel very good. And promote your business. Keep posting. If you're afraid of posting something, genuinely, someone out there is going to think it's cool. Like, just show up.
It's true.
Just show up.
I get so excited for, like, young artists. I follow a lot of young artists. I don't follow many, like, established, like, you know this, I follow very few tattoo artists.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make me feel good. It just makes me, if it's amazing work, I'm sad that, like, I'm not that amazing. If it's shitty work, I'm sad that the clients are walking around with terrible tattoos. So if I follow, like, anything, then it's like, so I only follow tattoo artists that I personally know. So that way it's just that, like, connection, human connection, and isn't this thing that makes me feel, like, bad. Yeah. And then every fucking tattoo artist is like, oh, so-and-so, do you follow such and such? I'm like, no, I don't look at other tattoos.
That's valid.
Like, it just doesn't make me feel good inside to do.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, if it doesn't make you feel good inside, then, like, don't force yourself either. No. You know what I mean? Because it's different for everyone.
Yeah, I have a lot of, like nutrition and, like, but, like, the debunky people. I've got a lot of them, and then I've got, like,
which I love because you send those videos to me, and I'm like, oh, nice. I get to learn via, like, whatever your algorithm shows up with.
Yeah, and then I've got a ton of athletes. And then a lot of, like, animals, like, a lot, like, not just puppies, but, like, a lot.
What's the new thing? Wombats.
Yes.
Caboose is sending us a lot of wombat videos.
It's so good. So, and then, like, if anyone posts just, like, stuff that's too negative, I'm just like, oh, I'll just, like, mute you for the next 30 days.
Yeah. Oh, the mute button has been fucking iconic. Changed my life. The mute button and the inner circle Twitter button changed my life because I love that. I post all my things on Twitter. You know that.
I know.
But now I'm even more
have a Twitter.
unhinged. I'm more unhinged with my inner circle. So if you're part of my inner circle, y'all, I'm so sorry.
Awesome. Whatever. Occasionally you tell me your Twitter stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's hilarious every single time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Like that's my at home. That's the Callista that I get at home.
Yeah, my Twitter persona is the closest
good
to me as a human being, for sure.
So funny.
Well, did you have any other advice to give to our Wrecking Balls as far as social media goes? Meow. Make funny reels. I would love to see them. I actually, you know what? I love seeing my clients' content. And I don't know why I get so hung up on like, oh, fuck, like, I don't think this will do good numbers. Because I don't care what everybody else gets on their posts. I don't care, like, how good your post does. If it's, like, someone that I like, if it's a client that I like, or like anybody or any of my friends, I just get excited to see them.
Yeah,
I get excited that they share things. And so I need to stop worrying about like the number of things when I know for a fact that like, no, I'm just excited to be a part of this journey with you.
Yeah.
So post more things. Post everything. I want to know the mundane. I want to know what you had for breakfast.
But not your poo. Don't post that.
I don't think anybody posts their poo.
You said post everything. And someone's brain went to, I'm going to post my poo.
Well, don't do that.
That's what I said.
Okay. Anyways, thank you, Wrecking Balls.
Thank you, and good night.
Bye.